So let's get this kicked off. Please welcome Group Executive Vice President of ANAA's Marketing Analytics Division, Tom Benton, and Chief Executive Officer, Bob Liodice. Let's give a huge round of applause as they come on stage. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, and welcome to ANAA 2018. You know, before we get started with our keynotes, Bob and I thought we would talk a little bit about bringing our two long-standing organizations together, DMA and the ANAA. And there are a variety of reasons for bringing these organizations together. It's great for our industry, it's great for all of us, creates critical mass, but the organizations also complement each other very, very well. DMA members have had data marketing and technology, data-informed storytelling and design as part of their heritage for over 100 years. ANAA's CMO-level client-side marketers have been doing all kinds of advertising and marketing also for over 100 years. So when you think about it, now that nearly all of advertising and marketing is data-driven, ANAA client-side marketers are looking for a more robust skill set and expertise in that area. So the timing was perfect to bring the two organizations together, and they can both benefit tremendously by being part of one single ANAA membership. And it's really a win-win. If you're a brand-side marketer, a client-side marketer, ANAA is now the source for all things data marketing, technology, analytics. And if you're a marketing solution provider, good Lord, this presents an opportunity for you and your competitors because you have a whole group of client-side marketers that hunger for the expertise that you bring. In fact, when DMA joined forces with ANAA earlier this year, we became the largest association of client-side marketers and marketing service providers or marketing solution providers in the country, if not the world. No other association has ever had the robust set of membership benefits that ANAA now provides, with a scope in advocacy, innovation, helping to determine the difference between shiny objects and important emerging technology, training and education, as well as networking, events like this. And as many of you saw on the screen as we were opening, all the events that we do here at ANAA, and now bringing the DMA events into that. But there's one overriding reason for bringing the groups together, and that's growth. Growth for you, growth for your organizations, and growth for our industry. So with that, Bob.
Tom, you hit the nail on the head, and you see it up there. It is about growth. Growth is the mother's milk for our industry. It is the common denominator across every part of our industry, whether you're a supplier, a marketer, an agency, a media company. No matter who you are, we all aspire for the same thing, and that is reason why growth is the fundamental mission of the ANAA. And importantly, the core reason why the ANAA and the DMA are now part of the same family, because collaboratively, we can in fact make this industry better, stronger, more capable, and to do lots more than we haven't been doing. In fact, Jess Frampton, the former chief executive officer from Interbrand, said very simply, growth is fundamental to life. It is an inherent part of being human. Shifts in behavior, expectations, and experiences provide incredible opportunities for business growth. One of the most critical ways to turn change into growth is by building a strong brand. And that's what we're all business to do, is to be able to build strong brands, to build strong businesses so that everybody in fact succeeds. Now, part of the way we need to get there is to improve marketer decision making. But are we making those correct decisions? Are we being effective and efficient in everything we do to optimize growth? History says that's not the case. In fact, we've probably been sub-optimizing our business decision-making as we've attempted to navigate this extraordinarily complex world that we're all still learning how to best leverage and to be able to move on and be able to build those businesses and to build our brands. If you look at history, this is how empirically we know that we're not doing the job that we can. If you just look at the Fortune 500 over the last 3 years, after-tax profits in the last 3 years, half of the companies have been declining. Not necessarily negative, but declining. That strongly suggests that we as a marketer community are not optimizing the ability of the resources that we have, the insights that we have, the technology that we have, the capabilities that we have to be able to make the best possible decisions out there and to be able to optimize growth. Otherwise, that data would be far different. Where we need to grow? In these three areas: data, analytics, and data-driven marketing. And this is the fundamental reason why ANAA and DMA are now part of the same family, because we needed each other to be able to optimize this area. It's foundational to the way that we need to be able to do business. Our goal is essentially to become a data-driven organization, or organizations. And it doesn't matter whether you're a marketer, an agency, a supplier, a vendor, media company, publisher, or whatever. All of us need to be able to make those better data-driven decisions. And we have to align ourselves with those messages, with that information, that insights, and be able to use that data far more productively than we can. We all have heard the news. We're drowning in data, but we don't know what to do with it. Well, you know what? I think that the people in this room do know what to do with it. And we have to start listening to you in an accelerated way so that we can make those better decisions. And in fact, become data-driven organizations across our ecosystem. And that is our commitment. Tom and I are making that commitment to get our industry to become data-driven. Our chairman of the ANA, Mark Pritchard, who many of you know, he's also the chief brand officer from Procter & Gamble, says it very, very simply. We have to transform, we have to innovate, and we have to be able to drive growth. And the foundational reason we're not, as I said, is because we don't necessarily have the tools, the resources, the information, the analytics, and the insights to be able to do it. But what we also need to do is to bring the leadership of our industry together. Now, I don't think it's any surprise to you that marketers have essentially been somewhat absent in the ability to organize themselves to identify what it is that they need in order to make their organizations far more capable, to make their agencies far more supportive. And so what we're trying to do in the ANA is to bring the CMO organization, or the CMOs together, so that we can align across the fundamental pillars that are going to be able to drive growth with data as its foundation. And so what we've created this ANA Master Circle, and I know you can't see what's in this wheel, but these are 12 strategic platforms that the CMO community is now embracing to be able to drive growth for you, for your brand, and our marketing industry, so that we're all able to make a difference. These 12 platforms are the navigating rudder for the CMO community to get us there. And what is one of those platforms? Measurement, data and analytics, and accountability. That is foundational to us being able to accelerate this industry. And the CMO community has embraced that. They also recognize that they need to know a hell of a lot more about this. They need to train their organization. They need to understand how to be able to convert this data into those better decisions. So what it is that we're trying to do is to bring these two great organizations together. The ANA and the DMA come together to make this data, marketing, and analytics enterprise that is going to grow, that is going to infuse the intellectual capital to all of us, and to be able to bring all companies of all size and scale together so that we can work in greater harmony to do that. Now, I've heard from some of you as I've been walking around that many think about the ANA as essentially being the association for the big companies like the Proctors and the Unilevers and the Krafts and the General Motors, when in fact 60% of our membership are small, are relatively tiny marketers or marketing service solution providers, you name it, they're relatively small. So we represent all parts of the long tail. And we recognize that if we're going to grow as an industry, whether you're big or you're small, we have to make everybody far more capable. How we're doing that is we're providing leadership across the board, and we're defining an agenda through a leadership organization called the Council for the Future of Marketing, Data and Technology. And we're working to define common approaches in data and technology, to define a new paradigm for data use and privacy, to work to build data practices, and to demonstrate responsible data as a force for good. In fact, that's Mark Pritchard's essentially line that he always uses. We as an industry need to be a force for good and a force for growth. Importantly, this conference. This conference is the foundation of the DMA, has been for many, many years. It has been the seed by which we continue to grow and to learn from each other. What we are going to do is essentially to transform this conference, and we are going to come together and make it part of the Masters Series. And we're rebranding this the Masters of Data Marketing and Analytics. And the next time that we are able to convene and bring this August group together will be in Orlando, Florida, at the Rose and Shingle Creek Resort on March 2nd through 4th in 2020. We want to double the size of this crowd because of the importance of what it is that we do.